Welcome back to another episode of R&R Reviews Unscripted. You're here today, as always, with Joey and...
Actually, you're back with DJ Smooth. And today, I'm gonna hijack this review to review how good this song makes you feel.
Hey, what are you doing with my mic? Sorry about that, guys. It's Nick, as always.
That's a little weird, by the way. You have a grown man that lives with you.
Moving on.
Today we're going to talk about one of the biggest surprises this year, I would say. Seems like one of the least marketed, least advertised movies out there. Nobody knew anything about the plot or what was going to happen in it or anything. And that would be Ad Astra, with Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, and a little bit of Liv Tyler.
But more Donald Sutherland than there is Liv Tyler.
Welcome to the Cinema Club.
R&R Reviews.
So we're going to dive deep into this thing right now.
Alert! If you haven't seen Ad Astra, this movie is brand new and we are going to talk about some major spoilers. So we recommend that you stop listening unless you have no stakes in this.
We're going to ruin it for you, okay? Blah, 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 blah. Now, just in case you haven't gone to our Facebook page and liked it or subscribed to our YouTube page, I will let you know that we gave Ad Astra an overall rating of 7.6 out of 10 points. And whenever we usually give something a rating like this, I usually say, that means we like it, okay? Our watch meter states that Ad Astra means to the stars, and this movie will certainly take you there. It has stunning visuals and audio. And that's the thing here. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's say you're not a huge fan of the plot, you're not a huge fan of Brad Pitt with daddy issues, you're not a huge fan of this sort of thing. Well, you will be stunned by the sound, the music, and the visuals. I mean, ba-bam.
It's truly just captivating. I mean, the whole look of the film, the whole time, is just stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Every camera shot, every intro, fade in, fade out, every angle seems to be specific and artistic in its manner. And I mean, it's impressive. It truly is.
There's so much little detail in every single shot of this movie. And I love the look of it that's like, it's a futuristic movie, like in the near future as the movie states, but it's still got this look to it, like this just like, I don't know how to say it, like a retro look, like it looks old.
Yes, it does. It gives it that almost vintage kind of feel, kind of look. It's definitely a decent flick. I will say that I think the movie was a little dry, a little slow at times, and it's probably about a half hour too long. But truly impressed with this movie and its ability also to not... I didn't even hear of it until like 2 months ago. I mean, it's just like, it's not been out there. It's not been out in the forefront. Wasn't a big one that was talked about. It's just kind of popped up out of nowhere and has kind of impressed a little.
I didn't hear about it probably about 2 months ago, like you said. But since then, I have seen it everywhere. I've been super pumped. I've seen an IMAX movie the past 3 weekends in a row. And the past 2 weeks, you know, I was watching previews for Ad Astra, which look incredible on the IMAX screen, and then it was funny, this time I went and saw it, and instead of seeing a preview for it, I saw the movie.
So basically, Brad Pitt has some daddy issues. His dad ran off when he was a kid, and he ran off into a space mission. Let's back it up a little bit, actually. Let's start a little earlier. It's the near future. It's the near future, and basically we're looking for aliens and intelligent life. And we started a bunch of programs to get out into space. Brad Pitt's dad leaves him, goes out into space to look for aliens, doesn't come back. It's like 30 years ago. Brad Pitt's
He basically pulls a Matthew McConaughey,
he's all,
as we would know from Interstellar.
Yeah, he basically, he's a little bit upset. Got some daddy issues unresolved going on in there. And they want him to basically send a message to his dad. He thought his dad was dead. His dad's not dead. His dad's actually out in space all this time. Yada, yada, yada. Long story short, he goes to see his dad. And Tommy Lee Jones is kind of a D-bag.
Right, but it's like, had he gotten back to Earth, maybe would his mind have fixed itself after not being in space so long? because it's got to do something to your mind, being out there in a tiny little ship for years and years. So, was he just insane?
It wasn't even that
Or
long.
Was he really just a jerk?
It said that it was only an 80-day trip from him to
Yeah,
get from
but-
Mars to Jupiter.
but
That's
he
only
left-
2.5 months.
He left when Brad's Pitts were only 16 years old.
That is true. I see what you're saying. Him, as far as
They
Dad.
said it was like 27 years.
Yeah, he was out there at that Neptune area, and what I thought was kind of messed up was like, he's like, okay, I'll go with you, son. I'll let you get me all dressed up in my astronaut suit, and we'll get out there into space. And then once we're in space, I'll try to put you in harm's way by pushing us out in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he was crazy though.
Yeah.
He was.
But
I for the short time he's in the movie, he was excellent. Like, I don't know, just he conveyed so much with just the facial expressions. Tommy Lee Jones is truly a great actor.
it's a good flick, and Brad Pitt definitely plays that hard, like cut off from emotion kind of person. You know what I mean? That doesn't really feel much, and that's kind of the theme throughout the movie. He's disconnected from people, doesn't feel much, doesn't get hyped up, doesn't get excited, has a resting heart rate of like 50 something.
And can I note that there is in fact an Applebee's on the moon?
Yeah, I saw a Subway too.
Yeah, Subway and Applebee's on the moon, guys, so we got that to look forward to. You're gonna go to the moon, don't eat anything special, you know, that you can only get on the moon. Make sure you stop at Applebee's.
Doesn't that sound just like us though? They get on the moon, and then we start dividing the moon up, and we're at war over different parts of the moon, fighting each
Right.
other and stuff, and
Moon pirates.
moon pirates, and then Mars and stuff. Like, that stuff is not that far away, and we'll be doing things like that. And it's just,
You mean the planets aren't? Or us being on the planet fighting over it isn't that far away?
like all of it?
They're pretty far. I mean, if you had to drive in a car, you would never get there.
All I know is I want to go to the dark side of the moon and find me a transformer.
I think we just found a transformer.
Well, that's all the time we have today on that note, guys. Oh, we're gonna let you get out of here. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, check out our Facebook page. Check out the YouTube page. Subscribe, like, click those buttons. Yeah, click those little bells. Yeah, or email us, rogercinemahood@gmail.com. We always be looking for your comments, for your emails. What you like, what you don't. If you hate us, we want to know. All right? So we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Remember, it's a beautiful day in the cinema hood. And as Michael Caine said in this film, do not go gentle into that good night.
It's not like he's saying it's a good night to you. He's saying, do not go gentle into that good night. It's talking about death.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
You're like, do not go gentle into that. Good night. That's not what it's saying.
Nick's nonsense.
Do you think because Tommy Lee Jones was lost in space is why he wasn't in the last Men in Black movie? With how much Brad Pitt is in a spacesuit, do you think the director asked if he peed before he put it on? And then when he, had to pee, was the director like, but I thought I told you to go earlier, and then Brad was like, but I didn't have to go then. And do you think maybe he just went in the suit every now and then? Or did they have like some device that just let him pee and it goes somewhere not in the suit? Or maybe it was really easy to take the suit off and he just peed real quick. Do you think Brad Pitt's smell in the suit? Is this movie a prequel to the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes? Are there really scary space monkeys? Is it irrational if I have nightmares about them? Do you think that Kiefer followed in his father's footsteps and also became an astronaut? Is it likely that Tommy Lee Jones, after he was sent careening away from Brad Pitt into space, was saved by Matthew McConaughey in the cool space robots from the Interstellar movie? I don't know. These are all really good questions we should be asking ourselves.
This has been Nick's Nonsense.
With no survivors.
I broke the window again.